In the name of my ancestors, peace forever and always, and welcome to another spontaneous edition of what we call the Reality's Temple on Earth Internet Ministry. I am the gatekeeper, host of this program, known here on social media. Wherever you may find me, I am known as the mighty Angel Snub 7. I am your soul brother, number one. I believe it was February the 27th or 28th, the last week in February, when the President of the United States decided to bomb a nation that did not harm this land. There was no evidence of any imminent threat. There was no signs of any type of aggression. But for some reason, and many people come up with their own assumptions or speculation of why this was done. And the first persons to feel the wrath of the United States was not an Iranian soldier or an Iranian base or tank. The first ones that this nation decided to harm was a school. A school filled with little girls and teachers, of whom this country say or have told us or painted that in this country called Iran, young girls are denied education and that the people are under siege by its government. But instead of first attacking that government, they sent a bomb to murder its little girls. You would think that shame and outrage would be viewed from all over the nations of the earth, from Australia to China to Antarctica, wherever. But there really was no real outrage. And I wonder why. Little children. I cannot, what would have to do to me to target their children? And so since that evil and wicked blunder, the President of the United States has faced ridicule. He has faced shame. And he has faced laughter. In his arrogance, he thought that this nation would be like those prior, and they would just turn over and die for him. And we are almost 2 months into this conflict, and that has not been the case. I am shamed and have always been shamed. And this is coming from a person when I was a little boy, I used to draw the American flag. In fact, I can confess that I still like the design of the American flag. But as a little boy, when I began to understand what that flag represented, what it symbolized, then it turned to shame. Because at that time, when I was growing up, towards the end of the civil rights movement, the end of Jim Crow, my people, as an American citizen, we were denied all types of opportunities. And when we make opportunity for ourselves, these devils would come and destroy what we create. You would be lynched outright. You would be beaten outright. And so for a few minutes, Black America decided I stood all I can stand. I cannot stand no more. And they began to rise. This became a great problem. Got to do something about this. And so these slicksters, by destroying the leadership, began to calm the Black American down, and the children have become comfortable slaves. They are happy with these PlayStations and happy because I'm going to the NFL, and they are happy with all the tiddlywink, tinker-tink garbage that the slave master and their children have given. So they calmed that down. It was a possibility with the rise of Louis Farrakhan and that voice. They once again began to become afraid. But all you have to do, as Tariq Nasheed say, give them a few biscuits. And the sad thing, we have somebody like Tariq Nasheed that talks about being made quiet with butter biscuits, and he does the same thing. Because when you're in struggle is uncomfortable. But Tariq Nasheed goes on vacation to watch Brazilian women go up and down the beach half naked in thongs with his wife and his children. Our so-called leadership go on vacation to Disneyland, and they even show their vacations and how they soothe their soul from all this hard work and suffering that they do. But Donald Trump, the President of the United States, if we actually was following and understood what leadership is, Donald Trump did Black America a favor. And that is, he began to open a door that you and I can take advantage of. What you see in Donald Trump is a man in desperation. Many people believe that this shooting last night was staged. In fact, all of his assassination attempts, violence against him, all of it was staged because they cannot wait for the real thing. And when the real thing comes, I doubt if they're going to be ready because they're so used to faking stuff. They always catch the person. And Donald Trump always looked like a hero. It's amazing how somebody is trying to take your life, and a few minutes later you can come to the podium and talk about that's why this ballroom or whatever needs to be built or whatever. And someone just threatened your life. How easy it is. Unless you knew that was going to happen to begin with. But that's speculation. And we don't want to talk about conspiracy theories and whatever. And they know that. And I could care less. That's their game that they have been playing for over 250 years. My concern is our ability to support real leadership so that when this door come open, you can take advantage of it. Those who box or those who do any kind of sports or really anything that's competitive, especially when you're not as strong, you're not as smart as your competition, then you have to wait for the weak spot. Here you are living in a time, here you are living in a country with the president that gave you a weak spot. And you should have been ready to take advantage of that weak spot. But you're too busy following scammers. You're too busy following people that sell you false promises. You're too busy listening and following people that's going to give you some kind of easy way out. There is no easy way out of trouble. We've been going through this almost 500 years. There is no easy way out. If there was an easy way out, we've been done it a long time ago. You're looking at a president. You're looking at a group of people so arrogant, they cannot say, we made a mistake. I would rather blow up the earth than say I made a mistake. That's the type of mindset, the type of people with these weapons of mass destruction. I'd rather blow up the earth. And your leadership, black leadership, since YouTube, sitting on their ass, giving you religious babble, giving you edutainment, giving you education and all this other foolishness. None of them are qualified. None of them put us in a position so that we can take opportunity. So when the Titanic begins to sink, you can have a lifeboat. Wait on God. We've been waiting on God for 500 years. It's all right to have faith in God, but if God can't show us to the lifeboat, if God can't show us how to build an ark when the flood comes, then we drown. So what's the sense of believing in God? What's the sense of following these persons and they give you no way out? This fool opened the door for opportunity. You're too foolish to understand, and you're not ready. So when the door comes open, you are not ready. You're dealing with bullies. Iran is a small country. I'm going to do them like I did Venezuela, and I'm going to deal with Cuba. The United States is nothing but a bully. I was bullied for almost 3 years. But then it got to the point, I stood all I can stand. I cannot stand no more. It's time to fight. And bullies are not used to their victim fighting back. This was a shock to Mr. Trump and his cronies. And it was a surprise to everybody around the world. They're fighting back like that against the United States, who kill little girls. Oh, any type of respect that this nation had should be gone. You kill little girls the first shot, and they still murdering civilians, little girls and little boys and the elderly, people in hospitals. I'm proud to be American. Who in the hell can be proud to be in America? You nothing but a child killer. Killing people that's already in the hospital. They ain't did a damn thing. We destroyed their air defense. We destroyed all these different things. You ain't did a damn thing. Looking stupid. These people been waiting on your ass 20, 40 years. Bring it. I told my bully, you can beat me up. There's nothing I really can do. You're bigger than me. I don't know how to fight and blah, blah, blah. But one thing for sure, I'm going to catch you on the toilet. I'm going to catch you with your back turned. I'm going to catch you in the shower. And I'm going to take a brick. I'm going to take a bat. You're not going to have no peace. You can beat me up. You better kill me. And he left me the hell alone. And that's the way it is with bullies. Bullies don't want to be hurt. They can dish it out, but they can't take it. And when they fall all the way down. This is the country that we live in. Bunch of cowards. Drop bombs on people. Why don't Trump tell the Ayatollah or whoever it is, I will box you. Get somebody, one of y'all my age, and let's box. But these cowards send your children to the front lines. And then they lie to you what's going on. But reports slip out. The troops aren't getting properly fed. They're starving. How is a soldier going to do his work and he's starving? They're not telling you the real numbers of soldiers that have been killed. It's impossible. They was on those bases. They didn't know these bombs was coming. So here you are in Bahrain or Dubai, whatever these damn countries is. I don't keep up with that stuff. And here come these bombs. It's impossible for common sense tell you it's impossible for 13 people, 15, whatever, that low number, for you to have that low casualties. It's impossible. And Iran know where these soldiers at, stuck in these hotels and other places. They're not killing little girls like these cowards. But I could care less about them. My concern has always been about us and putting us in a better position so when opportunity like this comes, we can take advantage of it for our benefit. Not for you to send me cash out. donate to you for what? Cash up to you for what? You've given these people thousands and millions of dollars. They sound good. Teach, brother, teach. Your mind caught up in this religious babble and political babble. Republicans don't give a damn about what you think, or you have no influence. I don't even hear them talking about the Congressional Black Caucus no more. You're nothing. You're only trying to impress other slaves because you're nothing to those in power. You mean nothing. You don't scare them. Your words and what you want, they don't give a damn. This fool opened the door and you've been too stupid to set yourself up so when the door opened, woo, you can take advantage. But you should, because I was told the black man is God. We got the supreme wisdom. Black folks is so smart. That's what I was told. That's what I was taught. The black man is a warrior. How you gonna be a leader? How you gonna be a warrior? And you got, or we have thousands of websites of black men crying and whimpering about black women. How many black women that these black men have murdered this week? And children. What kind of leader murder their own people? What kind of leader don't love his own woman? I don't care how upset you are. I've never come out here and talk about black women this and black women that. Never do that. Because your feelings hurt because some woman won't sleep with you. Probably because you're ugly and you stink. And you are a nerd. But instead of working on yourself, trying to be something that they like, they supposed to just accept you for your stinky, ugly, don't never shave self. The hell with your bum ass. I don't like you either. You embarrass me as a soul brother. These men are embarrassment. Leadership is not control. Leadership is problem solving. Problem solving. So those of who leadership skills, that's what make a leader dangerous. That's why they had to take out Malcolm. That's why they had to take out Dr. King and others. Fred Hampton, because of their leadership skills. Not because, will you donate to my Cash App because I sound good preaching? There's nothing wrong with the preaching when it inspires the people that stand up against their oppressor. And that's what made Fred Hampton and Dr. King and others a threat. You ain't no damn threat. They don't bother you. Your leadership is nothing but pretty speeches from 1930. It's not even up to date. Pretty speeches, strategy, talking crap from 1960, 1930, nothing new. Same old garbage. Recycled stuff. And they listen to you because they too damn lazy to read and research for themselves. So you impress them because they too damn lazy to research and do for themselves. oh, brother, you so smart. What's smart about them? What have they done so smart? Here we are. A door has opened where you can take advantage, where actually you should have been in a position so that the masses of the people would rally to you for your leadership. Because Donald Trump, the Republicans and the Democrats, whatever, they damn sure not offering any leadership. They are slaves to Zionists. And the majority of the American people in these polls, sick of them. But they don't know what to do. You and I should be in a position to show them and guide them through real leadership. This is what we're going to do. But you decided to follow these scammers. You decided to follow these idiots because they sound good. Regardless of race, Americans looking for a solution because Americans are suffering in warehouses. They throwing firebombs. They're killing people that run the healthcare system. The people are dissatisfied. And you and I should have been there, should be there to take advantage of the dissatisfaction. Social media. Americans are crying. Even the MAGA people starting to cry. The suffering this man, this Trump has brought to this nation. International, all the earth despised. And this piece of trash, he knew what to do. And confess to your sins. Oh, I need to do something different. But when you're dealing with trash, when you're dealing with people with this kind of mindset, and I've dealt with them for years, they would rather blow up the earth say I was wrong. And they will tell whoever with them. They're dangerous. And the people, the masses are ready to put an end to it. As the Honorable Elijah Muhammad once taught, with satisfaction, change. I'm sick of it. I done stood all I can stand. I can't. Trump is and I know I don't like it, but it's witness. Nothing but violence, destruction, slavery, rape, murder, pedophilia, homosexuality, and the list goes on and on and on. Technology does not mean nothing. Technology does not make you, and the people that suffer. How many little girls in these sex trafficking rings? The Epstein files, that's not nothing new. They was doing this stuff before Epstein. They've always done it. They've always exploited children and women. Not only in America, all over the earth. And so you hear women voices on the internet rising up. I'm sick of men. The women so sick of men, I don't want to have no baby, especially no boy baby. That's how messed up this has gotten. And instead of men, like Donald Trump saying, I understand. Oh no, you're going to justify and make excuses for the foul behavior of something that men confess. They put it in their history books. They make movies about it. But they justify it with the Bible, which is violent. Everything about the Quran is violent. Who's doing the violence in the Quran? Who is doing the violence in the Bible? Men. It's all men. Women can't do this. Women can't do that. Because men denied them the opportunity. And if they do get a chance, there you are to harass them. How many women in the military been raped by men? The women not raping the men in the military. The men raping the women, hurting the women all over this country. How do the men, or how do men respond because they hear women don't want to have babies? Well, I just kill them. I just kill them. And that's what you see almost every day in America. Every hour, some woman is being murdered by her husband, by a boyfriend. Every hour. As I'm talking, how many women and children being killed by men? The women kill men. You want to play the stupid game? Women are not murdering women and children like that. And that's what go back in time. Heard of for generation. You got a problem. Slavery, like men, but you don't kill women all over the country. You like that? You like some woman to clean your drawers, cook your food. I don't need no woman to cook food, wash your doo-doo ass drawers. Matter of fact, how in the hell? I don't even want nobody to see my drawers. You got shit stains. You want somebody to wash that. I would be too embarrassed for somebody to see. I put it in the trash or wash it myself. But that's how arrogant you are. My food. Everybody just cooks on the earth. Woman's job. You have the same mind as the same mindset. You as hell. You feel and you couldn't take advantage, and you can't take advantage of that this food has opened. I'm not the smartest person in the world, but I've been around and I learned some things. And I think for myself, I'm not caught up in pretty language because somebody talk pretty. I'm interested in solution. Will it work or not work? If it's not working, leave it alone. Let's find something to do it. You try to take the round peg, try to put in the square hole, and because you like the color of it, you stand in square pegs, don't hole. I love whoever. I love young Pharaoh. I love it. I love it, them. I love 20 years, 10, 20 years you've been listening to these people. And you have not benefited, you have not gained nothing. Absolutely nothing. Not to make mockery, but I watched our brother, what's his name, Sarah Sudin trying to give some type of commentary on Iran in the middle. He don't know nothing. No, he don't know nothing. Had a trip, took a trip to Egypt probably one time, maybe twice. He don't know nothing about the Middle East. He don't know nothing about them folks. He don't know nothing about that history. He don't know nothing. Except this fantasy stuff they done made up, comedic stuff. They don't know nothing about them people. These African folk, they don't know nothing about no Africa. Africa's 52 countries. How the hell you gonna be an expert on Africa? Africa's 52 nations, all kinds of religion, all kinds of tribes of Africa. That's a general term. You don't know nothing about them damn people. And most of them don't care nothing about your ass. Africa, they don't care nothing about you. They're in the same position that you are in, except they are on their own land. But you are blessed because if you actually thought to yourself, you could be in a position to guide not only Americans, but the whole earth. If you really was a leader and a god and a warrior. You're not. You're nothing but a Pharaoh slave. Still eating ham hocks and pinto beans and collard greens and butter biscuits. All of you. All of us. Nothing but a slave. So you don't have no control of your life. All of us put our life in the hands of this fool, Donald Trump. All thing you can do is try to impress another slave. You don't impress me, never have. So according to your scriptures, the Bible, it says that this Jesus is to bring us life and life more abundantly. The same could be said for Muhammad and all this religious stuff. Where is it? Where is this abundance of life? Every day is death and destruction, lies and deceit, rape, murder. In your scripture, it continues to talk about that we walk in the valley of the shadow of death, and we fear no evil. The fear evil on your door, your house, locks on your car, locks on your bicycle. You got your gold in 20 feet of steel. Yes, you do fear evil. We're supposed to be in a position of leadership. Again, I'm not the smartest person in the world, but I think for myself, and I don't care nothing about these slogans and this other tilly stuff that y'all are impressed by. That's nothing. Leaders supposed to solve problems. You've been on YouTube 20 years. They ain't solved no kind of problem. And then you laugh and you giggle when somebody show up. Because when I didn't have an answer, when I couldn't solve the problem, I told you. They told you they had the answer. Ain't solved a damn thing. But then when I told you I got the answer, you laugh and you giggle. It's a pipe dream. And you don't have nothing. So here we are, America, not only Black America, all of America need an answer to solve this problem. They seeking answers. And you don't have nothing. You didn't have nothing for Black America. You damn sure don't have nothing for white America and Irish America, Mexican Americans or whatever. You have nothing. Bunch of happy-go-lucky slaves. And you decided to put all your faith and your hope, not in Allah, not in Jesus. All of you, all of us have put our hands, our life in the hands of this idiot. When it didn't have to be that way. When people get hungry, they don't care about gender. When people suffering, they don't care about no race. I need my bills paid. A Black man can pay the bill. A white man can pay the bill. A woman, a dog, I don't give a damn. I'm suffering. I'm having problems eating. When I'm hungry and I'm suffering, nobody don't give a damn about race and gender and all this foolishness. And that's why you can't be a leader. Because your leadership is based upon, oh, the Black man do this and the Black people do that. That's not being a leader. Humanity. Live on the earth. Because what will affect one human going to inevitably affect others. But that's because you caught up in their trap. Their race trap. Their gender trap. What has it gotten you? Nothing. Now, I'm going to say this and get out of here. I'm going to tell you. I don't like to say everything on my mind because I have people that steal my ideas. And really, I don't say that it's my idea. It comes from our womb. I just put certain things out there and we could build on those things. But I want the credit. I don't like so-and-so. So-and-so make me sick. And you lose out. Because if what you doing or what you had could have solved the problem, we would not be here right now where we're at right now. There's a chapter in the Quran, which was one of my favorite chapters. It was called The Bee. And people are sick of working these jobs. All their life goes into these jobs, which on this platform, I talked about that many, many times. You work so much, you cannot even enjoy your family. You can't even enjoy your life. That's why a lot of men and women, a lot of them end up cheating on their husband and their wives because they on the job with another man, another woman, and they end up having feelings for that person because they are around that person more than they are with their actual wife or husband at home. You don't know your children. You don't know what little Johnny likes. You don't know what little Maria likes. You don't know what they've done in school. You don't have time to get into you don't even know your own children for real. Because you're too damn busy working. And most of us are underpaid. And it's a lot of us is struggle love. And you're working paycheck to paycheck. Is there a solution? See, looking for solutions. But a leader seeks to solve a problem for the benefit of the people, because I want you at home with your children. I want you to enjoy your life. We need things to be done. There's over 200 million people in this country. Everybody should be able to live their life without breaking down your body for some job, especially some job that's underpaying you. So I look as a leader, I look at or get my inspiration from nature. Look at bees. There is no little I's, no little U's. Whatever one bee do is for the benefit for all the bees. Why we can't live like the bee? There is no utility bill for bees. There's no internet bill. There's no light bill. There's no food bill. All the bees work together to get the job done for the benefit of the hive, for the benefit of the bees. Why we can't do that? Why we can't build power plants for the benefit of the people? You don't have to pay no electric bill. You don't have to pay no water bill. We're doing this for the people. Oh, but that will require all of us being equal. And some of us don't want to be equal. I want to be better. The queen bee is not better. Without the worker bee, the queen bee died. The queen bee do her job. Everybody do their job. And that's all we got to do. All these children should be given a job, a task to grow into. They shouldn't be running around here talking about when I grew up. We gonna give you something to begin with. All bees have a job as soon as they born. They go straight to their job. Then they graduate to other jobs as they get older. And if you don't like that job, then you can simply just transfer you to somewhere better. It's enough people in this country to do the jobs. You can be at home, when you're a slave on a plantation and you have folks that's exploiting us. Because those of you that can't get a job, what you gonna do? Then we're gonna put you in prison. Those of you who can't learn, have a problem, you don't like education, we're gonna put you in prison. Because you gotta turn to drugs. You gotta turn to alcohol abuse. You gotta turn to crime. Why can't we develop a system? These are insects. You mean to tell me the human being that's supposed to be the most intelligent life on this earth, you can't develop a system better than a bee? It's for the benefit of the people. But those who are slave masters, those who have a slave owner mentality, they don't want to hear that. Jeff Bezos don't want to hear that. All this 1% of folks control. And see, the thing about it, you can do that and push them out. Let them have their money. Because, woo, I'm going to say this and get out of here. Let them have their money because you don't need it no more. Your new society is not based on money, material things. And you push them out. What's going to happen to them? They're not going to cut their grass. They can't take care of themselves. They got to pay somebody to do that. You don't need money no more. They need their money. But now you just made their money and their class useless. Woo! Boy. You just made it all useless. So all these people with all this money, it don't mean nothing. Now you get to be with your family 20 hours a day. And your son is my son. We raise our children. The society, we raise our children. Your daughter is my daughter. Your grandma is my grandma. So you're not going to hurt my grandma because we all family here. We all doing this under one roof. All this together. We don't understand that concept, do you? Because you've been living in this crap for hundreds of years. Look what it has gotten us. Look what it has done. But see, this is, if you had put yourself in that position and been the example, the masses of the people, Americans, I want that. That's a good thing. Nobody want to live in no damn car. Nobody want to live in no bus. You deserve to have a home. Smelling gas and oil. You should be able to live in the house and grow your flowers, have your little garden, have your little chickens, and whatever, be able to take care of yourself. With or without the government. You need an overhaul. We need to refurbish. We need a change. So if your Jesus is not bringing life and life more abundantly, then you following the wrong person. And clearly you're not. That's the concept. That's something I bring to the table under what we presented in 2018, the Operation Exodus Mississippi campaign. That's why there are those who wanted to revise and change and steal the concept, but you don't know what to do. You think you know. It's not meant for you. I don't brag on myself. It took me 60 years to get here and to understand I come from the same place that you come from. The difference is when I see something that's not working, I'm willing to, even though I like such and such, we need to do something else different because this is not working. You're not critical thinkers. Just because you question the Quran, you question the Bible, and some of this other stuff, that don't make you a critical thinker. Only thing you did, most of these folks did, was you found something else to believe in. That's the only thing you've done. That's not critical thinking. you're still a zombie. Something to be loyal to. Thinking. To be minds open. Not without this. These have a lot of destroying water and electricity. Really, so they can make money. Damn, the people. Data center already being attacked. Black man bring wisdom. You and I should already to take advantage of this as long as Donald Trump and whoever. Because all this stuff. I'm looking and then I got it. Babies. Gotta do something. It's not good for America to be in a position where the international stage hates your guts. This man has caused great damage to this nation. And the cowards of the Congress and the Senate, these cowards sitting around allowing this embarrassment. Because blue and trying to nation that never existed. We are the religion always is the foundation of violence. We are the Jews. But God ain't giving you nothing. You using bombs and tanks, murder and rape. The things over there, the international community should not even tolerate. But they scared of the bully. But if all of them came together, the bully would back his ass down. But that blue and white nation got their little hands in all that. But see, if you change your way of lifestyle, they don't have no power anymore. That how they trained us to live. We go outside of their training, all their power goes away. Let them have the gold. Let them have the silver. Let them have the diamonds. We don't need it no more. We need a change. You don't hear, I don't see the Amish people complaining about nothing because they're outside of this mess. And we really need to be more like the Amish. If we were like the Amish, Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos and all them other all these folks got all the money, don't mean nothing. But I'm bringing this up to date where we can have technology. We can have a lot of the things that we like in balance. What's the sense of having all this and you cannot even enjoy it? And you retire at 65. And by the time you make it to 65, you got diabetes, jaundice, low blood pressure, high blood pressure, liver cancer, pancreatic cancer, all this stuff. You don't even make it to retirement. And then your children who don't have no financial education, they inherit what you leave and just throw it away. But we're in this condition because we refuse or don't know how to listen and understand what leadership really does and what it's about. And so we suffer. America itself is in bad shape. And I was told the majority, well, actually, the literacy rate in America is very, very low. A lot of people barely function at a 6th grade education level. So what does that tell you? But I wouldn't laugh just because you have a make you smart. Because there's a lot with PhDs and master's degrees and whatever, so and so, blah, blah, blah. The problem is we don't think. The problem is we also caught up in this way of life. And you don't understand, why is this way of life making me suffer like this? Because it never was meant to give you life. That's why 2,000 years ago, the Bible teaches that Jesus is to bring life, because you never had life. You don't have life under wickedness. You don't have life under an unrighteous foundation. So that Jesus had to come to us to bring us life, and life more abundantly. The only thing we have ever known is murder and rape, lies and deception, exploitation, trickery, those things. Pedophilia, sex trafficking, pornography, drug addiction. That's all we've ever known. It's a way of life. And this is the consequence. And if you like that, cool. No big deal. But on this platform, we offer a solution. And the sad thing about it is nobody could offer better. They don't have nothing better. But they just like Trump, too arrogant to say, I don't know. Too arrogant. Their ego. They know it all. Well, if you know it all, then what have you produced? What have you brought? Nothing. They still marching, still having a parade. And your life is still in the hands of a psychopath. This president, one of the worst pieces of trash probably ever. But at the same time, he's exposed so much. And he's opened that door where you could have been there. You can answer everybody's looking for. Look at that, look what they doing. What we need. The one and me. If you really was God. I did not come here to pat on the shoulder, make anybody. It's really your fault. You just don't know. You don't. In fact, the idea I'm upset. You tell nobody plan and what you gotta, because they're gonna chop you like you these folks done. I don't go around telling people don't Honorable Minister Farrakhan. I don't. You never no video. Don't listen to me. Don't listen. I've never made not one video like that. But you have these people crazy. Don't listen, blah blah blah. I've made advertising. I've made advertising. Son, they won't do that for me because if you listen, understand where I'm coming from. It's gonna take the cash app away from them, and that's all they're interested in. You're gonna understand. You're gonna understand all that stuff don't mean nothing. That's why you can't take advantage of this opportunity that this fool opened the door for you so that you can go through. You don't understand. And so in your misunderstanding or in your ignorance, you're going to control your life. I can do a better way. Like I use no. For everything about it. Now it's going to make it survive. It's going to take decades to heal. The American here. This and they understand America is running this in the process. Glory. Hey, you listen to what and understand. Woo, you be such, oh man. But a cash app is more important. All this praise to certain people and whatever, that's more important. And what has it gotten you? What has the wisdom of Brother Sanchez gotten us? What has them coming from Sonetta TV gotten us? 20 years. What has Tariq Nasheed, Morris World TV, Young Pharaoh, Brother Polite, and the list goes on and on. All that wisdom and understanding and stuff, what has it gave you after 20 years? Nothing. I say it for you. Nothing. The Nation of Islam, who you really don't hear no more since Minister Farrakhan has gotten sick, he don't talk no more because that's all the ministry was about, talking. What has it produced? What has it done for us? Nothing. If you want to show the people your wisdom, your supreme wisdom and your understanding and your leadership, this is the time during war. Because everybody, including the white folks and all the people in the country looking for guidance, and you offer them nothing. You offer nothing. You're an adult and you so smart. Giving your life and the lives of your future generations to people like Donald Trump. You think that he's bad, it's probably somebody worse than him. And you think, and folks think that slavery can't come back. Oh, woo, you got a rude awakening. You got a rude awakening. I'll never be no slave. Slavery not coming back. Boy, we live in La La Land. There's folks that's slaves right now in the earth. What make you think that you can't become a damn slave? We live in fantasy. We really don't know what we're dealing with, do we? I'm Angel Snub number 7. Thank you for listening. And as always, like our ancestor Don Cornelius used to tell us, we wish you love, peace, and soul. And we're already 5,000, I think.